Hello YouTube, welcome to my first Samurai Siege village review video. I do have about 30 submissions, so it will take me several videos to get through them all. So do bear with me, I will get to you in due time. First up is Carlos 4288 from the Junkies Alliance. This is a Castle 7. I do like the randomized layout here. It has very good compartments there. So it will take quite a lot of effort to get into all of the compartments, even with ramps. Snowball wise, there is a path where you could lose 7 towers, so that it is quite nasty to get attacked by snowballs there. You lose more than almost half of your defensive towers. The portal is too far out. Definitely need to centralize that, because if someone were to be dropping honor and just drop a troop here somewhere, it would activate the troops. Whether they do die or not, they will be lost forever. So the next attack that comes along, you won't have any troops in your portal. So do move that into the middle. I suggest somewhere around the central area there. Maybe you'd have to move the castle a little bit further out, into the corner maybe. Likewise with the assassins' dens, and your Jade Lion is good, but your assassin's dens could get wasted by a single troop being dropped, or someone who was just coming in to do a quick bit of farming while they drop honor. So you will lose your dens, and you won't see them again in the next attack, and you will have to pay to top them up. So I definitely would do something about that. Other than that, the layout's pretty good. You have a lot of things spread out nicely, and it's very hard to get to your storages. The storages are very well segmented there. You don't have any of them together or in the same compartments there, so you've done well there. The lightning tower is a little bit close to the outside. People that use healers and essence masters will commonly take down the lightning tower first and then drop a healer, and it's very hard to defend against, so I possibly would move that a bit. Your markets are a little easy to farm since you do have them all together. I would mix them up a bit with the wells, maybe a few on this side as well. Try and keep them scattered. It may deter some lazy farmers. So other than that, it's a pretty good design. Just need to somehow make space for that alliance portal and maybe for the assassin's dens. We'll move on to Fairsan from Junkies Alliance again. This one is fairly symmetrical. It's a castle level 6. Most of the resources are a little off balance here. You have the essence together here, so if someone were to farm just essence, they could just come in here, maybe do less than 40% damage and take both of the essence storage down. So anything less than 40% will only give you a 30-minute shield, so you don't want that. I suggest you switch one of the essence with the coin storages there, so they have to at least do 40% damage to take it down if they were happening to be after that. Your wells and markets are well scattered. The portal, again, I don't like how it's outside. It will get wasted. Quite often when I'm dropping my honor, I will just leave a troop somewhere and the alliance portal troops will come out, and that's the last you'll see of them. You do have the assassin's dens inside the walls, however they're a little bit close. Again, if someone were to drop troops in here to get your collectors, it will trigger the dens and you will lose them. So when a serious attack comes along next, you won't have them to defend you. And also I would move your castle out of the middle. Unless you're trying to raise your honor, like quite a lot, maybe 2000 plus, you don't really need to be protecting your castle so well. I would suggest moving it into the corner or something. It's still not in a position where someone would come to snipe it, since it is still defended, and this would free up prime real estate for other defensive towers like the drum gun and cannons, which have a very long range. So those are better placed in the central area. Moving on to Bella from Alliance Vertex. I really like the segmented storages. That's very well done. It's very hard to farm just the essence or storage, or even both. The markets and wells are very well placed. It will deter a lot of farmers since there's a lot of them placed inside the walls. I would suggest putting the upgrading one inside the walls, since these can often hold more than your storages do. The lightning towers are quite commonly sought after by healer users, so this is a little bit exposed even though it is wedged between two other towers. If I were to drop an Oni here, it would distract the freeze tower and cannon, but would still be out of range of this drum gun and lightning tower. So while that's being distracted, I could send in a commander and archers to take down this archer tower and get to the lightning tower, and then someone would just drop a healer and the rest would be pretty hard to defend until they got to the other side. This is symmetrical, so they could do the same on both sides. The Jade line here is in a good place to defend the lightning tower, since archers coming into play here would get the attention from the Jade line, and that will stall them long enough for the lightning tower to take them down. The Jade line is also placed in a 4x3 space. The Jade line is treated as decoration, so it will have a drop spot there. Someone can drop troops there. It's a good thing and a bad thing. If someone were to drop an Oni troll there, it would distract a lot of the towers long enough for you to come in with archers to take down the lightning tower. And it will also distract the Jade line too. It could be lured elsewhere. There's also your portal is in a fairly good place. It won't be easily triggered by troops because it is blocked by two essence wells. Snowballs, you have a line here where you could lose 6 towers. Another line here to lose 6 towers. The resources well scattered, the storage well segmented. The rams, one of my favourite placements for rams is right down the wall into an intersection. If you were to drop one down this wall to here or this wall to here, the end result would be something like this. You would end up blowing up a huge area here. It does splash damage. So it will give you access to 3 massive compartments here, which is almost half of the village. So sending archers in here could effectively take down maybe 60%. So just a single ram can do quite a lot of damage and open up the village quite badly. So I'd look into that maybe by putting a freeze trap at the intersections. So just a single ram can do so much. But other than that, the placement is very well. It's 2 layers of walls, so the defensive towers are quite hard to get to. The drum gun's a little bit far out. It is covering quite a big area, which isn't really covering that much at all other than the inside, so I don't think there's anywhere else it could be put other than the middle. So once again, I would move the castle into where the alliance portal is, maybe centralise the drum gun a bit better and the alliance portal. Other than that, it's pretty good. Moving on to Tanner from Alliance Sun Tzu. He is a castle 7. I'd move that castle out a bit as well. The assassin's dens are too exposed, and so are the jade lines. If you can put them into the middle somewhere, you can wait for a large number of troops to be gathered before they get triggered. Assassin's dens do splash damage, and quite a lot of damage, so they can effectively kill large numbers of troops. Also, they will be stalling the enemies, so your defensive towers can kill them too. So the jade line, the assassin's dens, and the alliance portal do very well in the central area of the village. The portal is a little exposed, although it is in range of the cannon, so if troops are dropped there, this jade line will also stall the troops while the alliance portal and cannon kill them. However, it's in range where you could back out and move your troops elsewhere to kill them in peace. So I would suggest moving that into the middle. The wells are well placed. They're on the inside of the wall, so that may deter some farmers. Snowball wise, you can lose 6 towers down this line and another 6 down here. However, this is the worst one because you can lose both of your lightning towers, which then healers would come in and you'd have a very hard time defending that. That is a very well placed lightning tower, but it can be easily taken down with the snowball at the same time as the other one, so that's quite nasty. Rams, again, the intersections are very poorly placed, because once you get a ram down there, it will open up 3 large sections no matter which wall you take down. You take this one down, you open up this, this and this. That gives troops access to almost half of your village there, so maybe you could look at putting some freeze traps on the intersections. Also, when you place buildings like this, if I were to drop a ram here, it would have to go around the tower, and sometimes it doesn't correct the path, it goes a bit wider, so it may blow up these 3 walls instead. So placing towers in the way of rams' paths can also help protect the intersections as well. So we'll move on to the next village, which is Swank Not Swag, also from Sun Tzu. He is castle level 7 as well. The assassin's dens and jade lines are very well centralized. They are protecting the castle and the storages. I'm not really sure if you're pushing honor or dropping for farming, you're about halfway. But if you're protecting your storages and castle, you're doing a very good job with the lions and dens, and also the alliance portal is very well placed too. Even though your storages are a bit on the outside, the portal will get triggered and maybe defend them. Likewise with the dens and lions. You haven't segmented them both, but you have split them in half, the essence and jade. Good ram protection. It's hard to get to your core. You'd need 2 rams to get in, and everywhere you go it won't really give you much access to many compartments. Just 2 small areas each ram. Your resource segmenting is good. You've mixed up your markets and wells, and it's scattered around nicely. Good lightning tower placement. A snowball can't take down both at once, and they also cannot be taken down with archers as well. You would need to break the walls to get to both of them. That's very good. The snowballs can take down 6 towers on this line. That might be a common line there with the lightning tower and the drum gun. The drum gun's quite popularly snowballed. Also here there's another path for 6 towers to get taken down, and another one here for 6 towers, and there is another line across here for 5 towers, which would get both cannons if someone happens to be after cannons. And I think that's it for this village. It'll do quite well, I believe. We'll move on to the next one, which is Linsanity from the Alliance Quantum's Net. Now we have the Assassin's Dens and Jade lines in the north, as well as the Alliance portal. I'm not really sure what the idea behind having them all in the north is, because you don't have any storages up there, nor your castle as well. I believe you're not trying to protect your honor. But the portal and lions and dens aren't really protecting anything up there other than your defensive towers and maybe your wells and some of your markets. But I'm not sure why you put them up there. I would move them into the central area. Your storages are all in the south. Most of your defensive towers are highly concentrated around the center, and they're not really protecting anything other than each other. So maybe this would be quite strong for defending an attack, However, I would usually try and force someone to get a 40% damage so I can get a shield, but I would definitely be attacking from the south because I am a farmer. You can still get rams in here through these walls. Also the upgrading markets are a gold mine as well. These contain a lot. I would definitely find some way to move them inside the walls. Switch it with one of these ones for sure. If you do have empty coin storages, I would switch a market out with that as well. But I'm not. Also let's move on to. Yeah, I definitely would move the upgrading market. The lightning towers are not very good next to each other. One, they could be snowballed at the same time, and two, they can also be frozen at the same time, the freeze scrolls. That would be quite vulnerable to that. I would move the portal closer into the middle. Your collectors are too grouped as well. If you had been away for a few hours and hadn't been attacked, I definitely would come in and farm your markets or your wells. They are quite close together. However, people will have more trouble with your wells since they would be triggering the assassin's dens. Snowball, you could lose 7 towers down this line, especially with the lightning towers and drum gun. I'm sure that's popular, and you can actually lose 8 towers across this line. So I'm hoping that this will get nerfed. I'm sure you're hoping that too, since it probably gets snowballed a lot. So we'll move on to the next village, which is Ramans from the Alliance Mibu. First I'll look at the snowballs here. He does have a small line here where you can lose 6 towers. The north cannon's a bit wasted up there. It does have a big splash radius too, so there's a lot of area it's not covering, and it's quite easy to take down even though it is being protected by 2 more cannons. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be defending. I'd move the portal in, I'd move the castle out. The dens are also quite exposed, they're not really protecting anything. I'd definitely move them into the middle. The lightning tower is too exposed. Once that's gone, someone will send in a healer. Yeah, I'd move the castle, I'm not sure where. And the collectors are very farmable, especially people are commonly after coins, so having your coins out there, people will just come in and take it and leave. You won't get any shield for that. And your storages, they are well segmented, so that's a positive there. Yeah, they're fairly well protected. Move on to the next one, which is Pimp Daddy from Alliance called The Nerds. Now he is only a castle level 5, so he doesn't have that many walls. However, you can put them to much better use. There is a drop spot in the middle here, so people don't even need to go through your walls. Any troops can be dropped in this red area here. Portal is too close to the outside. I would definitely move that closer to the middle since that is easy to trigger. And I would group the cannon with your freeze tower since those two work well together. Put the cannon, say, here and the freeze tower here. When they're both in that position, when troops get dropped here, we're just in range for the freeze tower and also for the cannon, so they'll just be frozen there while your cannon keeps taking them out. So I suggest putting those two together. And there's also archer towers are way too easy to get to. They're not really defending anything, and since they are single target, I could drop 10 archers around here and they wouldn't have any chance against 10 archers. They would just be taken down. So I would put these dojos and camps around them to protect them better. and possibly even put them a little further in and have them surrounded by markets and wells. And given your honour, I would also choose to move your castle further back too and surround that with other non-essential towers like the carpenter and the blacksmith and the temple, etc. Put them around it to help prevent snipers from taking it down. So that's all for now. I will be making another one shortly. I only got through 8 villages, but it has been 20 minutes already, so stay tuned for the next one. I will get to you shortly. See you guys.